warriors, what we're going to be working on now is a sideways roll, also known as a Soku-ho kaiten. Soku-ho meaning sideways, kaiten meaning roll. What we're going to do is we'll start on our hands and knees. So we will sit back on our heels, right? We will have our hands really far outstretched in front of us, right? To keep us as tiny and as close to the ground as possible. One of the common things that I see people do is they will be high up on their knee, not sitting back on their heels, and they will have their hands straight and high. That means that I am further from the ground and I'm more likely to fall over and have a really strong impact with the ground. The closer I can get to the ground, the softer my impact is going to be. So this tends to be the best way to do this roll. So I'm sitting back on my heels, my arms are outstretched. Now, the next portion of this is when I go to roll. I'm going to choose a side to roll to. In this case, I'm going to roll to my left first. I always like to make sure that my knees are together, because if my knees are far apart, that means that it's going to be hard for me to go over. So I need them together. This also creates an interesting challenge. I don't want to fall over. I actually want to sink and land and hit the ground as soft as possible. So to help me do that, I'm going to bring my buttocks as close to the ground as I can. So if you see here, what I'll do is I'll slide down and I'll keep bringing that hip until it's just about to touch. Now my landing is nice and soft. That's very important, young warriors, making sure that hip gets all the way close to the ground before I just fall over to my roll, right? Next, I need to make sure my eyes are looking straight ahead, because if I'm rolling sideways to get out of the way of something, I also want to be able to watch that thing. All right, so as my hands are out, my knees are in, my hip will start to shoot close to the ground, my knees will separate a little bit. I'm going to allow myself to roll over. My eyes look forward, my hands are out, my knees are still tucked in. They do not fall out. They will stay tucked. As I complete my roll, I will allow my momentum to get me back in my starting position. So if I go back the other way, I roll over and back. One of the things we like to do, just so that we know you're breathing, is say the name of the roll, right? So in this case, I will say Soku-ho, and just that sideways, basically. That way I know that you're breathing, and when you breathe, you get smaller, which means your roll is better. So, one more time. Knees are in. Back on my heels. Arms outstretched. Head up. I'm letting my hip go down towards the ground. Looking forward, rolling over Soku-ho. Back in my starting position. And this is a Soku-ho, my young warriors. Thanks a lot. Have fun practicing this at home. Be safe. Until next time.